when I think a lot of people are champing at the bit to see a combination of Nawrocki and CCV. What do you think that's just down to the fact that Scales is left-footed, or do you think there's any other reason why he's keeping him in there?
Well, based just purely on yesterday, and the amount of run of games and sort of match sharpness, fitness, I haven't got too many grievances with Scales staying on for the remainder of that game. Because then you're only making one substitution instead of one substitution and a positional change and asking Nawrocki to move from right to left. But certainly, I think I've been saying this for a little while, and I've been shouted down a few times because it seems to be an attack on Scales. But he's not, like, I think most of the fan base have come round to the opinion that he isn't good enough for the long term. He's done a good job. He's played above expectations, but let's be honest, the expectations were low. My view is his level is another Premier League team, Aberdeen. And look, that's where he would be if it wasn't for the crisis we had at centre-back at the beginning of the season. So Nawrocki I was very keen for him to start. And, with or without CCV yesterday, he was a bit nervous first half. He probably wasn't up to maybe the standard he has been of late, but nobody played well. I'm a big advocate of him getting a start next to CCV on Wednesday night. And they're for me, they're the future at centre-back pairing if both can remain fit. Scales has got his limitations and got his weaknesses. He's played out. Look, don't get me wrong. He's played out with skin. He's done a great effort for his level, but he isn't at the level we need sort of going forward and longer term. So for me, he'd be on the bench, and let's give CCV and Nawrocki, because both of them can play the ball forward. Both of them can step out of defence, and both of them are quicker to move the ball on. And Scales needs 3 touches usually, and that's one of the reasons. It's one of the key reasons. One, we've persisted with him being somehow the focal point of the distribution out from the back, and he's the one who needs the longest to get it under control and push it forward. So we just allow teams to get set. Therefore we don't break the lines. So yeah, like Scales has started to. He played out of his skin and he played above himself for a long time. I feel like he's reverting back closer to his level in the last few games, but he's been susceptible all season to the ball over the top, and we just luckily haven't been caught out with it by that many times. But I think teams have started to realise not only is left back an issue, but left centre back's an issue, and that whole side is weak, weak and vulnerable.
See, I don't see. I've seen this opinion of Liam Scales growing in the community, right? I've seen the Celtic fans growing this community of Liam Scales. I just don't see where that opinion comes from. For me, I think Liam Scales has been absolutely fantastic. Okay, he picks the ball up and maybe take an extra touch, but he's the guy who's driving out of defence. Time and time again, he's picking up the ball and he's driving forward. He seems to be the only person out of defence who can take the ball. Yeah, but he is doing it, but Paul, right? And he is playing out his skin. And Celtic fans saying, I think he's found his level. But what was he doing in the Champions League? You know what I mean? What was he doing in the Champions League? Playing absolutely out of his skin. Is the Champions League his level? Is Aberdeen his level? I think Celtic's his level. I think he's a great player. I think you'd never look a gift horse in the mouth. We've got Liam Scales there. And yes, certainly we can upgrade on that position. But if it's no broke, don't fix it. If we had
we've got an upgrade in the squad. Nawrocki's a better player than Scales by some distance.
I don't necessarily think Nawrocki is a better player than Liam Scales. We've not seen enough of Nawrocki to stack him side by side with Scales and go, he's better than him. Nawrocki's awful slow. You know what I mean? I've seen Milk turn faster in the freezer. In my honest opinion, he's one of the slowest centre-backs we've got at Celtic. And for me, playing him on right centre-back and swapping him like for like, that was an obvious choice, bringing CCV on. I just think, well, there is flaws in the squad and there is areas we can look at to improve, i.e. on the wings, left back, the goalkeeping area. We've been saying this for a long time. I don't think we need to go kicking over stones and ousting cunts' arses out the door when they're playing well. You know what I mean? Liam Scales is playing well. I just think you let him play that, and if he's going to burn himself, then you let him burn himself. Us as a fan group, us as fans, we don't need to burn players. You know what I mean?